We are live here on the Extra Points podcast with the College Football Experience. My name's Gus. That's Will. That's Cody. It's a beautiful Thursday night. We've been gone for a little over a week. Cody and Will had a little trip down to Gainesville. A lot of stuff has been happening in the college football world. I'm glad to be back, y'all. How are y'all doing? Tell me about y'all's trip.
What you thinking, Will?
Pretty fun. Yeah, it was pretty fun, man. I want to thank Coach
Yeah,
for on Evan. So they went down there and competed. He invited us to a little facility tour.
You're breaking up,
Gator
Will.
fans get to do. But we got to tour the $85 million facility. It was fun. It was exciting. There was we got to see some real things that not many Gator fans see.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Cody, you're a really big Gators fan, so you had to just be ecstatic with y'all's little trip down to Gainesville.
Dude, more than you know. So, like Will spoke on, man, it was amazing, really. A lot of people probably don't think of it that way, but us college football fans are die hard, and especially our own team, man. We got to see Billy's office. We got to see some stuff that was just amazing to witness that not a lot of fans see. So it was exciting.
It probably felt a little larger than life because, like, you're like getting to go into like it kind of has like a mystique about it because like you're going in your team's facility where they grind, wherever they prepare, and like where they really get the work done. So
Yeah, dude, and it's almost like you can't even like fully grasp it because yeah, you see the locker rooms, but you don't even realize like these dudes are here, like you said,
human too, yes.
and that building's so new. It's not like oh, well, I've seen that before. Like most
Right.
stuff down in Gainesville, this is something a lot of people haven't seen. So it was neat.
Brand new. So something else that's brand new is the 2024 SEC schedules got released last night, and man, there's some winners and there's some losers. We talked about it a couple pods ago, speculating should the SEC go to 8 games, should the SEC go to 9 games. Well, they stuck with 8 games, and then they went ahead and released the matchups. They did not release the dates. That'll come at a further time. But man, it's a rocky road for a bunch of these SEC teams, and isn't necessarily a hard road, but it's a little bit lighter load that some of these teams get to manage. Man, Cody, tell me who are your winners and losers from this SEC schedule that just got revealed.
Oh man, so just to give you a little on how I picked mine, I actually ranked every team as they are now, and kind of like a power ranking system. And I put it in a formula, man, and I did all the schedules, and I kind of got some stats behind, more than just my
Hit us with
biased opinion. So for the most part, all the schedules are kind of, they're kind of close, but there's one dude that's just not close. And I am not saying this because I'm a Florida fan. The Florida schedule is brutal, dude.
It's tough.
That is a loser of a schedule. Now it's great for the fans. I mean, we get to see
it's awesome.
some big time matchups, dude. But the average power ranking that I've got is 6.375, and that's the lowest by far. So you're talking about, even though Georgia's neutral, y'all can say what you want. That's a tough spot. You got to go to Tennessee and you got to go to Texas, and then on top of that, you're playing LSU, you're playing A&M,
Really,
playing
two
Ole Miss.
really talented teams.
And then you add your non-con in when they play UCF, they play Florida State. I mean, that is just Billy's got his hands full there.
And
Dude,
Miami.
And they play the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, and Miami. I mean, it's just like one week after another. So for me, man, the Florida, that's a tough one.
They have one gimme game.
Yeah, and even that team wasn't fun to play last time. So I think Florida got a tough one there. If I had to pick one that seems like it's not too bad, I think Texas A&M got kind of
Mhm.
lucky. To be in the West, a lot of these West teams are going to have easier schedules compared to what they're used to because they're used to the powerhouse over there. But
Correct.
I mean, they do go to Auburn, they do go to Florida. That's two winnable games for them. But
Mhm.
they get Texas at home. The Red River is now in Arlington, and they call LSU. So I think if I'm looking at all these schedules, I'm liking I'm liking Texas A&M's schedule.
I am so glad that Texas has to go to Texas A&M. I mean, that atmosphere is going to be, I don't want to say like none we've seen in college football, but it's going to be insane how rowdy Kyle Field is.
Yeah,
And I really want to go to that game. I
that'll
really,
be
really
tough.
do. I mean, I would love to go to that game. Well, winners, losers, who do you think got the short end of the stick and who do you think kind of got a little easy ride?
So one of my teams, I think they got an easy ride was Arkansas. And that
Mhm.
being, I think if you can dodge Georgia and Alabama, I think that is a
Mhm.
huge win for me. I know they kind of have a tough schedule. They still have to play LSU, Tennessee, Texas, Auburn, A&M. But man, if you can dodge the two best teams in the conference, I think that's a huge win. And so did A&M. They dodged both of them too.
Mhm.
But I kind of wanted to mention Missouri a little bit. I felt like maybe they kind of got helped out a little bit. They did get Alabama, but man, they get to play Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and Mississippi State and South Carolina. I
Mhm.
Yeah, they
know,
dropped Georgia.
yeah, they dropped Georgia, so I think that's a help. The biggest losers for me, Cody mentioned Florida. God, dude, they have the hardest schedule next year. It's going to be brutal, but I think Ole Miss might be one of the biggest losers. Um, they got Georgia, Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, South Carolina. That's going to be a tough one. And then might be weird that say they might be a loser, but I love their schedule is Georgia next year. They get to
Yes.
play Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, Kentucky, and Ole Miss. So
They're loaded in the SEC
we
plate.
and their out of conference is Clemson. So
Mhm.
we've been complaining about their schedule for this year. They have a terrible schedule this year, but next year, dude, their schedule is going to be fun. I think we might plan a trip down to Austin to watch them play.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to see Georgia's schedule next year.
Man, and kind of like Cody touched on, they really did a really good job with these schedules, kind of being able to balance them all out to where everyone's playing like you're playing a tough schedule. One winner that I think has to be the LSU Tigers. I mean, whenever you look at LSU schedule, they get Alabama at home. They get Oklahoma at home. They have to go to Texas A&M, who's kind of been a rival. They were able to preserve the rivalry with Arkansas, the Golden Boot, great rivalry. They were able to save the rivalry with Florida. They have to go to the Swamp, and then they play South Carolina at South Carolina. But it's really not a murderer's row. I mean, they'll have just as much talent, if not more talent, than 7 out of the 8 teams that they play, and they're going to have a better head coach than 7 out of the 8 teams that they play. So I think LSU got a really fun and good schedule. And one winner that I think too, it has to be Auburn. Even though we still have to go on the road to play Bama, we still had to go on the road to play Georgia. We were expecting to do that anyways, but we lose LSU. We get Oklahoma at home. We get Missouri from the east. We get Kentucky from the east. We get Vanderbilt from the east.
Can I say, if you get Kentucky, Missouri, and Vanderbilt, that's a win. I mean,
Yeah,
you will take
should
that.
should be.
Yeah, it should be. But you'll like if you get these schedules in advance, you're like, man, I'll
Okay.
take this any day of
Yeah.
the week over what we've probably been playing.
Right. But the reason we got those 3 games is because we have to go into Athens and we have to go to Tuscaloosa. And one team that I think is a loser, well, 2 really, poor Oklahoma. You want to talk about being baptized by fire. Coming into the SEC, they're playing Alabama, Tennessee, at LSU, at Auburn, at Ole Miss. They get South Carolina at home too. And one of their home games is the Texas game, but that's played in Dallas. So they only get 3 SEC home games. So I think Oklahoma definitely got the short end of the stick compared to Texas. And then
Hey, y'all wanted to join us. Y'all
Yeah.
wanted
Exactly.
to join
That's
us.
exactly what I
Welcome.
was about to say. Is you
time to put the
wanted
big boy pants on.
exactly all
This
them
is
fans
it.
talking like, oh, we can handle it. Well, this is the
This
grind that you're gonna see every week.
this ain't a bowl game that where you get one of us and maybe some of our dudes are
This
sitting
is
out.
every week, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, buddy. You're
best
gonna get us
fucking thing.
full strength. Good luck.
And can we have a moment of silence for Vanderbilt? I mean,
Vandy got it rough, dude.
Vandy kind of got screwed. I mean, they play
Yeah.
Tennessee at home. They play Alabama at home. They play Texas at home. They go to LSU and they go to Auburn. I mean, Lord bless Clark Lee.
If you had to pick one game on here that you are most excited for, which one is it?
Oh,
Mm.
there's 2 that I have in mind, but I'll let y'all go first.
Okay, Cody, what are you most excited? Which game are you most excited for?
I think for me personally, it's going to be different than maybe y'all's. I do. I mean, Bama Georgia is that's just going to be one, man. I
Yeah.
mean, the
Bro,
top
you
2 teams.
stole mine.
That's going to be. I mean, that's going to be a game, dude. It's
That was
what
not one
everybody's
of
going
my
to look
2.
for. That's what everybody's going to look for. I
That
think.
was
But I mean,
that was one of mine.
I. I mean that would be my go-to if I had to
Yeah.
pick a different one. Like if I'm just, I would say Texas and Texas A&M. Even
Mhm.
though Georgia and Texas would be extremely fun, I think the Texas A&M is a little bit different just because the rivalry because
Yes.
how much A&M likes to say, "Oh, we're not little brother," but they really are.
They
And now that
sure
they're
as heck
coming up,
act like it.
yeah, now that they're coming up, dude, to have that game, oh, that'd be intense, dude.
Well, did you have any other games besides the Georgia Bama?
That was literally the one I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me
I mean, I think that's
see.
everybody though.
Yeah, everybody's looking forward to that one. I think Tennessee, Oklahoma was going to be fun.
Yes.
That'll be Tennessee's coach first time back to Oklahoma since he played there. Maybe was he a
I
coordinator
think
there ever? Maybe
it'll be his first
he's
time back there
coordinator,
as a
but anyway,
head
he's coming back.
coach.
Yeah, as a head coach, and both those offenses will be fun to watch in that game. And whose defense can make the other team punt just one time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Two
Uh,
similar,
so
two
that's
similar teams.
that's a game that would be really fun to go to.
I
Gus?
mean, y'all kind of talked about the 2 that were like on the front of my mind. It's got to be Texas and Texas A&M. I mean, they haven't played each other for 13 years. I mean, they hate each other. They hate
Yeah,
each other. I mean,
yeah.
they absolutely hate each other. And the way that rivalry ended, Texas with the walk-off field goal at Kyle Field the last time they played, they're coming back there. I really hope that game is the last game of the season for both teams. And then Georgia going to Texas is going to be really fun. I really hope that our plans stick and we really get to go to that game. I have never been to Austin. I
I
would
think
love
that
to get out
environment
there.
would be fun.
Insane. And
I
I
hope
mean,
it's a September game. Like it's the first Texas's
hot.
first SEC game is Georgia. Back like when
Mhm.
A&M and Florida played and Missouri and Georgia played. It'll be huge, dude. Game day,
I hope it's so
everything.
hot that they aren't able to bring Uga out of the hotel. Like I want it to be that hot.
Oh, it's mean.
I mean,
It's mean.
I
You
mean,
can never be too mean to that team.
yeah, I can never be too mean to that team. And I mean, Florida going to to Texas. Really fun. I think another sneaky game will be Alabama going to Oklahoma. I think that'll be a super fun game. But I
The
mean,
biggest thing
Well,
with this is you really don't know what you have because we're kind of
it's a
basing off
year and a
what we
half
know
out.
now. But
Right.
to think that
yeah,
some of these teams like Texas, like we expect Quinn to leave, but what if he don't? What if he comes back like Bo did, and then you've got an even more powerhouse, or who's transferring where, or what? This could be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so much can change in just a year and a half. I mean,
transfer portal, dude.
transfer,
You don't. We don't know what
get
we don't
fired,
know what these
coaches get
rosters are going to look like.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have no idea what the rosters are going to look like next year, but we're just kind of assuming, just kind of based off the teams, what we think they're going to be like this year, and we assume Texas is going to take another step forward next year.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
we expect them to be pretty
Kind of
good.
hope kind of hope that they do. And man, I'm I'm just so excited for this. And this is something that we were talking about pre-show. There are people out there who are saying that with this new format and with this new schedule, that it will be harder to win the SEC championship game than it will be to win the playoffs. And I kind of think that I agree with that. I mean,
Well, you can't breathe, man. You can't. There's no weeks off with this. I mean, it's always been like that, but like it's even worse now. I
yeah,
mean, with
because it's
no
so
East and
competitive.
West, yeah, and they've mixed it up now where like you don't know who you're playing the next year. It's week in, week out. It's going to be a grind, and like it's like once you get done, if you win the SEC championship game, you're going to be like relieved, and then you're going to have to go into a 12-team playoff. So it's going to be a grind week in, week out with this type of scheduling now.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm really, really excited. Jumping back into this year, though, the Heisman Trophy, one of the best individual awards in all of sports, it's really tough to win. And sometimes we get surprise winners. And we're going to say who we think the surprise winners could be this year. Who are our Heisman dark horses? Cody, Will, who are y'all's?
Well, since Will took mine, you can go first, Will. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I got some good insight on one of mine from a
Oh,
source.
Lord.
I'm just kidding. No, me and Cody were talking about this dude yesterday on the way home. That's why I thought of him. This guy, I don't know if he's going to be the starter. I think he will be eventually. But for Alabama, their quarterback, people are probably going to make fun of me for this one, but Jalen Milroe, he's a dark horse for me. I think they're going to use him kind of like the way Jalen Hurts was used his freshman year. They're going to use him for a lot of running, easy passes. I just think he can do a lot of things with his legs, and he's going to make a lot of plays this year. And he's going to win the quarterback competition. Maybe by game 2, he'll separate himself. But my next one is probably the best player in college football, and he has huge odds for some reason, but it's Brock Bowers.
Graham Mertz. Oh,
It is Brock Bowers, University of Georgia, tight end. That's crazy. He might be a top 5 pick, and he going to be my dark horse because what was he like plus 12,000?
Plus
Yeah, plus 12,000 to win the
12,000
Heisman.
odds.
Yeah, that's an easy pick for me. I think the way that he can get it done is they're going to have to use him in many different ways. Wildcat quarterback, maybe get him some like a few touchdown passes, some rushing touchdowns.
Mhm.
Just get him involved in the offense in a bunch of different ways. That's the only thing I could see how I could see him winning it or even getting invited to New York.
The only thing about Brock Bowers is Georgia has so many weapons this year that
Yeah.
that I think it could take away some of his touches, and that could be the reason that he's at such long odds. But I mean, just like you were saying, he might not be the best player in college football, but if he's not 1, he's 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I mean that's also risky taking Jalen Milroe. I mean, I understand it.
Yeah. I, I just think he is a dual threat. He plays for one of the best teams. He's going to have dudes around him. And Alabama quarterbacks just find a way to win ball games, man. And he kind of has that Jalen Hurts feel to me. So that's how I think he can get it done.
What did you think about Will's picks, Cody?
I like him, man. I think Brock's a dude. I mean, we know. If I had to say, I guess he's so far down because you're getting a new OC, you're getting a new quarterback. They could be kind of. They're not going to be run heavy per se, but they're going to run the ball, and it's going to be easier to kind of key in on him, even with the transfers and everything they got at receiver. It's they're going to try to do their best to slow him down. So I think that's why Milroe. I like Milroe a lot, man. I told y'all I was really close to drafting him when we picked quarterbacks. I do think he'll win the job. I do think he'll have really good stats and everything around him. Like Will spoke on, man, it's those quarterbacks find a way to win and they find a way to get the job done. So I think that's 2 good picks.
Now let's move on to your picks, Cody, because I think you have some interesting picks.
All right, so for my dark horse, let's go first is Marvin Harrison Jr. And I know okay. I know what everybody's saying, like, oh my God.
Best player.
Best receiver in college football.
Yes, but there's reasons why. So if we're looking at the Big Ten, right, and we're looking at Heisman's, we haven't seen one since 2006, and that's Troy Smith. So
long time ago.
Dude, it's been a minute. And you add that with the fact that we've only seen one recent receiver win it.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, and I don't know, dude. Like since 2015, Ohio State's only had like 3 preseason favorites. None have finished higher than 3rd. I mean, he's not a per se preseason favorite. He's probably not a true dark horse either. But I like him. I think him and Brock Bowers are 1 and 2. I think I'd personally rather have. Well, I don't know. I mean, you can do stuff with both. So I'm going to take my chance with Marvin and say, even though he's got a new quarterback, and maybe, I mean, you don't even know who his quarterback's technically going to be right now, but even though he's got that and he's got some other guys, he's lining up beside that can take away touches. I like Marvin Harrison, and Georgia fans hate to hear that name because if he didn't get hurt last year, we never know how that game goes. So my second one is kind of a reach, man. And, you talk dark horse and you think of somebody that doesn't have a good shot. And this guy, man, a lot of people just aren't going to love. So with my second pick, I'm going to take DJ Ungale.
DJ Uyunglele.
Ungale.
DJ Uyunglele. Oregon
DJU,
State transfer.
Yeah, Oregon State. The kid's got what you need as far as size. He's got a good arm. I think he was not very good at Clemson. Obviously, he wouldn't have transferred if he wasn't. He wouldn't have lost his job if he wasn't. I do like that team, though. I think Oregon State's got some talent. I think he's, getting a fresh start, and he's not kind of looking over his shoulder as much. We've learned that quarterbacks tend to, even though they do have that 5-star talent, they tend to look over their shoulder if they just feel a guy creeping up, and then it gets in their head, or that mixed with the scheme. I just don't think it was his spot. But I do think he's talented. I think he can climb up the ladder when it comes to that type of thing.
100%.
And like I said, I just took a reach. I think it's a guy that has potential.
I mean, I think it's a really good reach because he's out there in Jonathan Smith's offense, kind of more of a play action heavy, kind of more of a run heavy offense. But I think DJU came out and did an interview this summer and was like, I hated what we did at Clemson. They weren't really utilizing me. Yeah, just like how awful the offensive scheme was and how he didn't pick Oregon State because it was flashy, how he didn't pick Oregon State because of their facilities or because of what they could give him in NIL. He picked Oregon State because he felt like it was a great fit for what he can do on the football field. And
yeah, and I mean Clemson relied on him. Like, yeah, they're looking to him. Your quarterback, they're going to. But I
right.
think Oregon State's going to really lean on him, man. They lost some
Yeah.
guys. They're still really talented, but they're going to kind of put the ball more in his hands and say, "Go win us a game," instead of hey, you should be doing this or that. And like you said, a better scheme to me for him.
Mm-hmm. I think their preseason win total is it still 8.5?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's high for the Pac-12. That's the same as
Yeah.
UCLA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of big expectations for the Beavs, big expectations for DJU, really big expectations for Marvin Harrison. Man, now let's get to my picks, man. One of my dark horse guys, they both really didn't have good seasons last year. Both of their teams didn't have good seasons last year. Both of my guys have new offensive coordinators, and they both play each other in week 2. I'm taking Tyler Van Dyke from Miami, quarterback.
Hold on before you talk, guys. I just want to give you a shout out because you've been on Tyler for a while now. So if he pops, I want everyone to know Gus was on this dude first.
I was on Tyler Van Dyke last season, but he flopped last season, and I don't think that was totally his fault. Tyler Van Dyke, quarterback from Miami, plus 10,000. They just had a terrible situation last year. First year with Cristobal, bunch of rot in the program. His offensive coordinator was Josh Gaddis. Really high hopes from him coming down from Michigan. But Cristobal in an interview just the other day was like, he just wasn't a fit. And it was obvious that it really wasn't working. Everyone knew that it wasn't working. Really bad situation. But then they get Shannon Dawson, offense coordinator from Houston, coming in. Kind of runs more of an air raidy type system. He's kind of always coached in the air raid based system. And Tyler Van Dyke, 2021, threw for 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns. That was only in the 10 games. So if he gets in a more air raid system, stays healthy, they're really high on this freshman class that just came in from Miami. So I think he could be able to pop this season, kind of be under people's radar and maybe lead Miami to high up in the ACC. And maybe it's a reach going with TVD, but I'm sticking to my guns like I did last season. Going with Tyler Van Dyke as one of my dark horses, and the other one is Connor Wegman. He'll be a true sophomore for Texas A&M, getting Bobby Petrino in. Man, Texas A&M was bad last year. Awful. Absolutely terrible. And so being able to get Petrino in, being able to coach him up, hopefully Jimbo can keep his paws off of the offense. Texas A&M is so talented. Some of his receivers, he has Evan Stewart. He's got Anaya Smith, and he has Moose Muhammad. They're loaded. The only thing that worries me with Wegman is he is still young, and their offensive line is kind of a question mark. So him being able to really sit in the pocket and him being able to deliver, that's the only question mark that I have. But I think it's worth a risk just because of the talent that they have and who they're bringing in as an offensive coordinator. Yep. So I'm Tyler Van Dyke, Connor Wegman, dark horses. So those are our favorites, our favorite dark horses. What about our favorite college football uniforms? Man, this is something about college football that is so special, and it kind of is a constant, and it's a tradition. And I think college football uniforms are the best uniforms in all of any sport ever. Man, what are some of y'all's favorite uniforms? Most iconic favorite of all time now, past, present. What are some of y'all's?
What you feeling, Will?
I think it just depends on what you want in a uniform, right? Are you a traditional guy? Do you like the Alabama with the number on the side, how they keep it the same through all these years, like Auburn, Georgia, they've kind of been the same all these years? Or do you kind of like a team that changes it up a little bit every once in a while? Every 10 years, they'll change it up, man. And I think that's kind of how I am. I like a team that changes it up a little bit, but not too much. I don't want you to be like Oregon where you're wearing a different uniform every week. I just want you to where you can have some different combinations every once in a while and maybe wear a different helmet every once in a while. No particular order right here, but my first one I'm gonna talk about is probably Florida. Of course, I know
Homer.
people probably tired of me talking about them, but in the facility, we got to see all their different helmets they've wore over the years, man, from the start of it to now. And there's just something about that orange helmet with the Gators on the side and the stripe. And then you can wear the blue jersey with it. You can wear their orange jersey with it. The white pants. You can wear the all blue. They call them the big blues when we wear them in the big games. I really like their the white on white. I love when we wore all white. I don't know if that's going to come back anytime soon. Napier's a traditional type guy. But I like the orange helmet. My next one, these guys do change it up a lot, but they don't wear like crazy stuff. It's Oklahoma State. They have plenty of different helmets. They wear orange helmets, black helmets, silver or what is it, like gray, white helmets. I like that they wore a throwback last year. That was probably my favorite uniform they wore. The Barry Sanders that played at Oklahoma State. They wore his jersey with the white helmet. It was really cool. And then they just released their uniforms this year, Florida State. They went back to their older 2013 to the 90s. They kind of went back to that look. It's not like nothing fancy, but they have like the Seminole tribe thing on the neck and the sleeves. It's no longer on the shoulder anymore. And they have a really iconic helmet that Bobby Bowden started back when he started coaching there.
It's a beautiful helmet.
It is, dude. It looks really good. It's got the spear on the side.
Yes.
I think they do a really good job. They don't go crazy. I don't like their blacks all that
Really?
much. I don't really like the Florida
I
State
like
They're
their
blacks.
clean.
their blacks. Yeah, I like.
It don't fit. It don't fit their helmet
Scheme.
to me.
Yeah.
It don't fit their helmet. If they could get a helmet that fit with the black, I would be okay with it.
I love their all whites. Oh my
Their
god.
all whites are.
Their all whites
They're
are
all
clean.
Yeah, dude. Their white
Crispy.
helmets. Their white helmets looks good with that spear. My next one is North Carolina. They've gotten fancy with their uniform combination. Carolina blue. They wear dark blue. They wear, their Carolina blue. They got their white. They got the chrome helmet. They have their white helmet, their dark helmet, and then they have their Carolina blue helmet. So they can change it up a lot. I like what Mac Brown's doing with their uniforms. He don't really go classic a lot. He changes it up every week too, but it's nothing like crazy. And then last, I hate these guys on the football field, but LSU is my last. I love their white jerseys with their yellow pants and their yellow helmet. Man, dude. And then their purple. When they go white, purple, white. Oh my god, dude, that looks awesome.
Clean.
Such a good look. They did this one a few years back. They haven't worn it since. They did a chrome purple helmet with all white jersey, white pants. Dude, that one looked really good. But just their traditional look that they wear every week is probably my favorite. The yellow, white, yellow.
That's what I like about LSU is they wear the same thing home and away. So like it kind of screws with the opponent's mind. Like we're having to wear our home uniforms on the road.
Well,
and like
they're weird wearing their purple jerseys at home against certain people. Like they will not wear their purples at home against like a big opponent. They're weird about it. It's like
Georgia with their black.
It's like this has been going on for a long time. Like They feel like they wore purple at home. It's like an old story. They wore purple at home against somebody and they lost, and they said, "We'll never do this again." Because they've always been kind of wearing white at home. They've always done that.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean Georgia with the blacks. I mean they wore those.
Just got the snot beat out of them with them.
I think there's more their alumni right now. They just don't want to wear them anymore.
They're old.
All right, man. Those are my 5.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I like. I have like plenty more, but those are just the 5 that I really enjoy.
What's a uniform that you hate? Like one that you just like, you see it and it makes you want to projectile vomit. There has to be one.
I don't like Miami's greens. I think Miami's green jerseys are ugly.
Yeah.
You got Wyoming's brown. They look terrible.
Yeah.
Let me think. I don't think Washington's really look that good to me. The Huskies.
Oh, you're crazy with their chrome. Oh, man.
Will's about to get left out of the chat. He's about to get deleted.
No longer apart.
No, dude, their colors just don't go good together. They're purple and like
gold.
What's their other? Yeah, it's not
gold
gold
and white.
It looks
That's for sure gold.
Yeah, it looks brown.
Kind of like
they need to look at LSU if they want to see gold.
That ain't gold.
Well, it looks terrible. So they need to do something.
Cody, hit me because I know you're gonna come with some absolute fire uniforms. What are your favorites?
See, I like to think I'm kind of between you and between Will on this because I feel like you're more kind of a traditionalist. I feel like Will is kind of more of a newer type, flashy. So here's my 5. It's in no order. I will start with the best one just because I have to, and that's the team Will spoke on. And that would be the Florida Gators. I just have to. I have to like them. I just do, man. I like that they are getting more traditional. I do like the stuff they do every once in a while. I mean, their all whites are very nice. Any team's all white is going to look good. I mean, Auburn's got some good ones. Penn State, like you can go through whatever. But if I had to pick some of my favorites with Florida, I do like the throwbacks. We've broke them out for a couple of games. Auburn, and that's my team, so I'm going to put them on there. So get used to it. Anyways, one team I like that's probably a lot of people around here kind of hate, but I like Ohio State's uniforms, man. I like their color scheme. Dude, I think they've got some of the best, dude. It's clean, it's crispy, it's nice, and they've got some good alternates with it,
Oh yeah.
And I think if I just had to pick truly, like if I had to say, hey, if I wanted to change it up, I like Ohio State's.
And I love how their helmet changes throughout the season, just because they get the Buckeye sticker for showing up to class on time.
Yeah,
and I mean it
just
grows and changes.
Urban Meyer did a good job with changing their helmets up a little bit. Ryan Day don't do it as much. Like Urban would change the stripe of it to be like black with their red color that they had. He did a good job, and he'd even change their home uniforms with like a black stripe, the black on the sleeve a little bit. And then he did the really cool camo helmet one year, dude. You remember that one? Dude, those things were sick. I like those. But looks good to me. Just a regular home.
That's just a team that you see on TV and you just automatically know who it is. Like that. Yeah. That's a few of these teams you can kind of like, oh, is that Ohio State? Is just that's them. I like the tradition.
Iconic.
As a Florida fan, it's weird seeing. We've beat them in the championship, and they took our coach, and you can go through this or that. I like Ohio State, man. My next one's Ole Miss. I like their color scheme a lot. That red, white, and blue. It looks good. I like the powder blues. I like their white helmets. I just like their scheme, man. I think it's a good look for them. Is what it is, Lane. But I'll compliment their helmet. I like it, dude. The white helmet.
What do you think about their white helmet? Yeah, with that blue nice. Realtree designed it. Yeah.
No, I didn't like. Nice. Well, I didn't like that one as much as I did the just regular white one. But
it's different to me.
I don't know. The powder blue is That powder blue is nice.
Whenever Ole Miss wears the white lid with the powder blue with the white pants,
It looks so
that's
good, dude.
that's their best jersey combination. Their other blue, I can leave it. Their white, I can leave it. Their
Their navy
red,
blue.
that freaking navy is just gross.
Yeah,
It
Well,
isn't a
me
good
and
color navy.
me and Will were talking about it kind of on the way down from Gainesville, and I think me personally, like if I had some of these schools, I kind of wonder like where did they get their color scheme from? Was it just kind of from a book and said, okay, we'll take orange and blue? I think the red, white, and blue you can do some cool stuff with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just why I picked them. My next team, a lot of people hate on them. Some people think they're ugly. I kind of like them. Is UCF. I don't like their team. I just like their unis. They're some of their the space stuff is cool and
Yeah.
it's different. So I put that one in there. I mean, there's like Will. I could probably go on a bunch of them.
Mhm.
My last one, I'm not going to leave LSU out, man. I like their combos. I like their color schemes. I like their logos. I like
They do a good job.
Well, see, they've just got that purple and gold right. There's teams that don't. Like ECU is just.
It looks terrible.
Don't hate on the
ECU.
Pirate.
Dude, it looks
ECU's
terrible.
They've got a great logo. It's just a poor color choice. So
Yeah.
Poor
I like
design.
Yeah, so LSU is up there for me. It's another kind of traditional, but got some mix in there.
Mhm. And whenever you go down to the state of Louisiana, every high school team is purple and gold.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
every high school team looks like LSU, and that's just because it's such an iconic color scheme in that area.
Oh yeah. Some of the worst, if I had to pick, I hate Iowa State's. I just don't like them. I don't like that color scheme. So
Yeah.
their blacks look okay. Everything else is terrible. I mentioned ECU, Indiana. I feel like they're crazy boring. I think they could do a lot better. But the number one for me,
Dude,
man.
What about Iowa?
I love Iowa.
I don't hate Iowa
alone. Leave
I don't hate
Iowa
Iowa.
alone.
It's kind of boring, but I don't hate it.
It's just kind of boring to me.
Iconic. They're
just
iconic.
Just
One team I really hate though is not a team I watch often. It's just I hate their whole look. It's Florida A&M. That orange and green crashed. They got a terrible logo. They're just awful.
Yeah.
But so an honorable mention for me would be the Gators all orange. I just don't want to look like Clemson. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I know the recruits love them.
Yeah. If they're going to wear the all orange, they need to just wear orange jersey, white pants.
Yeah.
And wear the white helmet with it. I think just
the all orange just don't do it for me. So
it's kind of ugly, if we're being honest.
Not kind of it's ugly. The recruits love it though, dude. It's so crazy. Like every recruit wants to be all orange.
That's just something about it, man. I know I was kind of dogging y'all for being biased for y'all's first picks when it comes to the uniforms that y'all love. Something when Auburn goes on the road and we wear those all whites.
Stormtrooper, baby.
Them stormtroopers. I mean, it gets me
the ones
going
you've been wearing since the 30s.
Hey.
Same thing.
But it's just so clean. It looks so good. And then we went up to Penn State in 2021. We wore the white face mask. It was all white and the white out. And then we started doing that when we go on the road more. The Auburn all whites are the clean. I will die on this hill. I will die on it.
Who's got the best all whites? Let's just talk about it.
Auburn.
Who you got, Will? Who you got?
Auburn has the best all whites.
Either Penn State or Florida.
Auburn, you're crazy. You're crazy. Well,
Florida State might have a good all white as well.
Florida State is nice.
The reason Auburn's all white works so well is because we already have the white helmet and we already have the white pants. So the white jersey just fits seamless. It just fits so good. And it's just clean, it's smooth, and it's just crisp. And I love it. I love it. I love it. That's my favorite uniform in all of college football. More that I like, we've already touched on it, so I won't spend much time on it. LSU. I mean, for all the same reasons that y'all said.
That's unique. We all picked LSU.
I mean, they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous uniforms. And they're kind of rivals to both of our teams. So we've seen them a lot. We've seen them a lot in a bunch of big games. One that I'm surprised y'all didn't say, the Golden Dome, Notre Dame.
Oh, I was going to put Notre Dame, legit.
Notre Dame, their uniforms are just so traditional with the
Yeah, I definitely
golden
should have
helmet.
Notre Dame.
Everyone around the world, when they see that all gold helmet, they know that's
Yeah,
Notre Dame
That's a good one, guys.
with the good, clean navy uniform with the gold breeches. It fits and it works.
Dude, they're like mustard,
and they've had it
britches, they're
forever.
mustard.
That's not
It's the
kind of like a
helmet.
Dijon mustard, a
If we
whole
would have
grain
a best
mustard.
helmet, if we did top 5 helmets, I'd have put them up there.
Now there is a
the
difference. There's a
pants-
difference in like top 5 helmet, top 5 uni.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, their pants just don't do it for me. The mustard pants, no thank you.
yeah. Well, that's something that we can agree on is the helmet carries a uniform. The helmet
Their
carries a
helmets are
uniform.
incredible.
But I mean, with the gold helmet, even when they go on the road, the gold helmet, the white jersey, and then they have the gold pants.
Dark mustard pants.
I love them.
Oof.
And another team, I'm surprised neither of y'all said that burnt orange. Hook 'em horns. I love Texas's homes. I don't like their roads, even though they are the all white. I don't know.
Wow.
It's just it's something about the burnt orange. It's just so unique.
But you like
so unique.
You don't like their all whites, but you like their home because of the burnt orange.
Yes. I love
That's
that
weird.
burnt orange. I mean,
He's a different breed, Will. Different breed.
I mean, I love Texas uniforms. They're iconic. There's no other jersey in college football that's like that burnt orange for Texas. And kind of what Cody's at too with this next team. Love Ohio State for the same reasons that you have already touched on. When you see their home uniforms on the screen, you know what team's playing. You don't have to look at the bottom line. You don't have to look at the logo. You just know. With that silver dome, with the red, with the silver pants, iconic. And it's just that shade of red. It's just them. And then another team with gold helmets. I love the UCLA homes with the gold, the blue, and the gold.
I like them.
I love those. Those might be like my second or third favorite uniform in all of college football. And it's not one that most people in the South really get to watch because they play so late and they play out on the West Coast. My next, Penn State. They look like a rec league uniform. They look like Pee Wee football. But man, they're beautiful. They're beautiful with the simple white stripe. With they very rarely wear the numbers on the sides. I don't really care for the numbers on the sides. I just care for the plain helmet.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I didn't pick Bama. I just don't. I like the plane. I just don't like the number.
Yeah, and man, I just love how it's so simple. One thing I wish they wore white during the whiteout. That's something that's never made sense to me. It's like, why don't they wear white during the whiteout? It would fit.
Yeah, I wanted that too. I don't know.
I mean, it would really, really fit, but I guess they want to wear their blues, and I just love that shade of blue.
Yeah,
Like
it's a good one.
like it isn't quite navy. It's not quite a royal blue. It's kind of in the middle, and it works, and it's really unique to them. And my last favorite is the Nebraska homes. They're red with the white dome, with the white pants, with the block in. I mean,
all tradition.
Those are beautiful. I mean, yeah, every single one of mine are really traditional uniforms that are my favorite. I love it. There's nothing. Well, that's also what I love about college football is just how traditional and like getting to go to the games and your team's wearing the same uniform that your grandfather watched them play in. And I mean, that's just really iconic. and I hope it never changes. Some of my honorable mentions: Florida home, the orange dome with the blue with the white. I love that. Florida State home, just like y'all talked about. Tennessee home, I love it. Some people hate that neon orange.
I hate it, dude.
You
It's not even,
hate it.
dude. I don't even. It's not even like Tennessee, the team.
Orange.
I just do not like that colors. I don't
Dude.
know. It's just not me.
Yeah. But
It's
I mean,
not orange.
it's just something.
I don't know what it is.
It's kind of
course,
like
like
neon
yellow.
orange.
It's like yellow.
Well, you might be colorblind, brother. You might need to go get your
Nah,
eyes
dude,
checked.
it's not orange. It's not orange. I don't know. We wear orange. This is orange. They don't wear this.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's iconic though, with the white, with the checkered. Ooh, I love it. It's clean, it's crisp, and then I love the Ole Miss powder blue. I love those two. I love Oklahoma. I love
Dude,
it. I love
Oklahoma
Oklahoma uniforms.
Oklahoma has an alternate uniform with that red helmet.
Kind of has
It's
like the wood grain to it.
Yeah, the wood grain to it, bro.
Yes.
That is the
Those are
best looking
so
helmet they
clean.
got.
Those
Yeah,
are
dude.
so clean.
Those are good looking helmets. I was just
Mhm.
looking at them on my phone. Like those are some
I
good
mean,
looking helmets.
Yeah, I mean, those are just beautiful helmets too. And uniforms that I hate, that when I see them on the screen, I kind of want to turn the TV off. I really want to turn the TV off. I hate
The
Michigan.
University of Georgia. Oh no, sorry.
That too. Michigan. God, I hate Michigan.
Dude, those things are
It's-
clean.
That's
No,
weird
they're
though, because like
not.
you're so traditional like that. I mean, that's a traditional.
Those are
uniform.
nice. The wings.
Dude, the wings are disgusting. And do you know why I hate
Coming
the
from a
wings?
Granger, that only makes sense.
That's why I hate Michigan's uniforms, because their helmets remind me of Troop High School, who I grew up and hated. They
You know who
makes sense.
started the
those
wings? You
three
know who
wings.
started the wings at
Who?
Troop?
Let me guess.
Mr. Coach Giddens.
Coach Giddens. Claude?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Claude. I love Claude. Coach Giddens, I love you, but I hate that decision. Disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah. And I mean, it's just, and you think the Notre Dame pants look like freaking mustard? The Michigan pants, those look like mustard. Those look like someone got French's mustard and painted them on a brand new pair of white pants. It's disgusting. I hate Michigan's uniforms with the white when they wear the yellow.
Ooh.
Gross.
Oh, it's
Gross.
awesome.
No, you're just saying that because I don't like
I wish
And
they
then-
do a white helmet with the wings. That'd be awesome.
that. Might be a little bit better, but I mean, it's just, and they're overhyped. They're extremely overhyped. The next team who I hate USC's uniforms. You want to talk about colors that don't go together? That
Yeah.
gold and the red.
They don't
and
have
the
good
white.
colors. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
But that's another one though. Like who's playing. There's not
Yeah.
another one like that.
Yeah. I mean, their jerseys and their uniforms, they are iconic, but they're not good.
Yeah.
They're
Also
ugly.
their neighbors. Their neighbors they got it right down the road. Their colors are kind of UCLA.
UCLA? Their
Yeah,
colors are beautiful.
The
Seamless
blue and
fit.
like brownish color they got.
It's gold.
No, it's like brown.
It's
dude.
gold.
It looks terrible, dude.
Bro, you got to go get your eyes checked. I swear to
No.
God, you have to go get your eyes checked. How do you have a driver's license? You like you but
Well,
you
one of us is
been
legal.
thinking that
One of
you-
us is legally blind, so and it's
I'm
not
legally
me.
blind.
I'm legally blind.
I guess it is a little bit gold, but that just don't go good together.
I'm legally blind and I can't see. Greatest
bright-
vines of all time.
That bright blue and that dark gold. That looks
Gold,
terrible.
dude, it's such a contrast with the white, crisp. That's why it
Don't
was
even
one of
that
Tell
my
him,
much-
Gus. He'll get to decide when they're in the playoff this year. He'll get
Yeah.
to see him.
Yeah.
They don't
prime
even
time.
have that much white in their uniform.
And they have white in their away uniform, and that's the only white that they need. Man,
That looks terrible.
well, that's your opinion. You can put it on your most hated list. And man,
Updated list from Will Bates coming in just a second.
Yeah.
hot off the press.
UCLA.
Man, and my last uniform, Will, you've already kind of touched on it. The Miami green. It is so gross. It's gross. It like freaking looks like they just dropped their jerseys
Green
in a
and orange
freaking
just don't.
sewer.
The green and orange just don't really mix well, anyways.
Their orange looks like they have a safety vest on.
Yeah,
It's gross.
their blacks aren't terrible, but that green and orange is
Their blacks aren't bad. Their whites aren't awful. But
yeah.
I mean, just that green and that orange again, it's iconic. I mean, like you know who is playing, but
Yeah.
you know who's playing is because their uniforms are so ugly and it's hurting your eyes. And I mean,
That's like
one of
UCLA
us-
and Notre Dame's.
One of us should have picked Oregon as our most hated. Honestly,
I don't hate Oregon.
No, I don't hate them. I just think they do.
I don't
cool.
hate them. It's just it's frustrating, dude. Like,
Yeah.
pick a
They're
color scheme.
Dude, bro, they got some cool uniforms. Like the only ones I don't like is the
Bro, they've
the
got,
white ones
like-
they wore last year, where they had like
They've got like
the
pink,
dots
black,
all over it.
yellow,
Yeah.
white,
Well, the pink
silver,
are for breast
gold.
cancer,
They've
man.
got everything, dude. They've got every color possible.
See, my
ain't never
beef
seen
with
them wear
the
no
Oregon
gold.
uniforms, my beef with Oregon isn't that they have so many uniforms. It's in their two biggest games of their program's career, the 2010 National Championship and the 2014. They wore white. They wore all white and chrome. And you're Oregon. There wasn't a speck of green in either one of those uniforms, I don't think. I for sure know the 2014. The 2014 they wore in the national championship against Ohio
It's
State.
like all white, maybe.
It
All
was
I know
awful.
is
It was
the
awful.
numbers on them are like 3 times too big. So
Man,
Yeah, that is what's bad. Their numbers are like
their
this
numbers
big.
are terrible.
huge. And
Yeah.
one that just came to my mind. Do y'all remember? I think it was. I don't remember what year was
Auburn.
it. It could have been
Home
last year.
uniforms.
No. Well, pissing me off. No, the freaking Michigan State uniforms
Oh,
with
them
the
green
dark
ones?
Oh, the
green
lime
and
green.
then the
Yeah.
lime
Yeah.
green.
Those are
That
hideous.
said state, and it was like under their armpits. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
gotta
where
be
the
one of
phrase
worst.
those might be some of the worst college uniforms of all time.
Those Gator
I don't
ones, they
hate
were
'em.
green. They were
Oh, yeah, those are
top 3
terrible.
worst of all time.
Don't hate on the Florida uniforms that actually made them look like the Gator skin.
That was
They could
terrible.
have done so much better, dude. They could
could've.
have.
But it was still cool. There are worse uniforms. There are worse uniforms.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, those were ugly.
Pretty ugly. But man, this has been a blast tonight, y'all. Super, super fun. And I can't wait to be back next week.
It was fun until Will started hating on Washington. Now we're gonna have to meet off camera.
Dude, he hates everything Washington. He hates
They
Penix.
suck. They're,
He
It's
hates
mad
their
because you took
uniform.
Penix. That's exactly. He's mad. He's mad.
That's exactly why he is mad because I took Penix in the
never-
quarterback draft.
one time wanted to take him.
You're just
Fool.
lying
Never
through your
entered
teeth.
my mind.
Just lying through your teeth. You're just trying to impress.
I
these
could
people.
have took him if I wanted to. I could have took him easily.
That's what you think.
Yeah,
I was
Washington
playing mind tricks on you,
uniforms are ugly.
man. All right, y'all. Well, thanks everyone for
Gold
listening.
helmets.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, share. You can follow us on YouTube at the College Football Experience. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at the College Football Experience. Same on TikTok and Instagram at the College Football Experience, at the College Football Experience, at the College Football Experience. We will be back next week with a jam-packed show. Will, Cody, thank you for being here tonight, and I was glad to share it with y'all. Have a good night, everyone.